Back with more Miss Marvel. This is episode 2. Very excited to carry on and see what's going to happen next with the story. I really enjoyed the first episode a hell of a lot. Loving the characters and the kind of setup for what I'm hoping is going to be quite an intimate personal story before we obviously take the character to the bigger MCU universe with like the Marvels and stuff whenever that comes out. I can't remember exactly when that's due. But yeah, I loved the first one. I'm very excited to see more of these characters and to see how they're going to change and develop and how Kamala's going to kind of adapt to her new powers now and learn a bit more about them, learn where they came from maybe as well. So yeah, we had a really, really strong start, hoping that continues on. So let's just dive into the next episode.
I've been in Sky for years. My name is pronounced Kamala.
New burst of confidence now that she's a superhero. Oh. Oh, okay.
There's another superhero catastrophe, and she's sitting there bragging about being saved by the budget Captain Marvel. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Who was it?
Nightlight. Yeah, Nightlight. But she keeps like a really low profile.
I think we can change that. I love that she's training in her Captain Marvel suit.
It's coming from within you. Like the bagel will knock the superhuman part of you.
Oh, okay.
Light comes out of you and it hardens.
Let's call it Hardlight.
Groundbreaking.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Sisters, no talking during the lecture, please.
Sorry, shake up the light. You know, it's just really hard to concentrate when we can barely see you.
Thank you, Sister Kamala, for reminding us that it is important to share your voice, though perhaps except during my lecture. Oh,
Savage.
I know this is the worst possible time to ask, but
Kamala Khan. If you're gonna ask something about Avenger Con 2
no,
or
no,
something.
no, no, no.
Vince Con 2.
Julie's having some people over.
Electric Boogaloo.
But this time, you see that you come back through the door.
Wow.
Dude, why would you do that?
Vodkas are awful.
I'm over it. Let's maneuver.
No, you can't. Everyone's here, including us.
Oh, Christ.
I felt my first time.
Wait, is this Sweatshop Boys?
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
I'm here for jealous Bruno in the back of the car, just all grumpy.
It's great meeting you guys. Miguel, Paul, Nakia, Ryan. See you later.
All the hearts in the background as well.
How is Zoe's house?
It's magical.
Oh.
Been acting kind of weird these past couple of days. I know you can tell me anything, right?
Well, I glow now.
Like when I put this on, I feel like me. Like I have a purpose. It's probably why I ran for the Moss Board. And remember, you're the one who convinced me to do it in the first place.
And Kamala has her thing now.
Good. You're staying down? Yep. Yeah. The early immersion program at Caltech, you got it. You are spending the next semester at Caltech, in the dorms, on the campus, in the lab. Sounds expensive. Can I think about it? Okay. Bruno, have you ever seen a movie? Yes, I've seen a movie. Yeah. But it's in California.
It's a big change. I don't think he wants to leave Kamala either.
Are you sure?
Yeah, de-stress after school. Best thing
Oh, I feel bad for Bruno.
My brother and his fiance.
And that's bad because...
Because he's going to freak out.
Sister.
He's our cousin.
Like you and me, cousin?
Yeah, yeah.
That's why we moved to America, right? So that our children could be anything that they wanted to be. Yeah.
Almost anything.
I was gonna say, yeah. That's just that raining in.
There's a story about Muniba's family from during the partition. Nobody knows how that little toddler Sana managed to get back on the train just
Before the train pulled out of the station.
Oh,
Well, what did Sana say happened?
I wonder.
she followed a trail of stars.
Right back to her.
Oh, okay. It's becoming clearer.
And it's
Bangle belonged to my mother, Aisha.
the one who disappeared during partition, my great grandmother, Aisha.
Mm-hmm.
Nani, please, I have to know. Oh, is something wrong?
No, everything's fine.
Gaslighting. But for a good reason.
That brought shame on our entire family. I had to move halfway around the world to forget it.
But, like,
Kamala, you would do best to do the same.
Mm.
And last, the ones who know it all and will not let you forget it, the Illuminantes.
I'll talk to them.
I love that. Illuminantes.
Rashid is also running. And he's my best friend.
Wouldn't rob two young women of that future, would you, Uncle? Come on. Your daughter.
Yusuf, what are you doing?
Fighting for his life.
How are we today, Miss?
Here we go. I was wondering when he was going to come into play.
You must have been mobbed by all your fans, no?
No,
You have a good time?
No, just a giant hammer.
I mean,
You and that masked one on the pretty identical white girl, redhead.
you don't look anything like. She looks nothing like me.
So you do know what she looks like. What else do you know?
Christ.
Nothing.
South Asian. Just be respectful. The FBI is already surveilling them, you know that. Got me.
Yeah, she's been very respectful so far. Uh-oh. Well, I hope this was worth it, young man. Whether she brought that with her, just in case.
Climbed all the way up here. Why did I do this? Hey, you are not gonna fall.
I don't know.
Just what's your favorite thing? What? Something you like? Something I like? Yeah.
Being alive. Oh, shit. Phew. Now, that absolutely would happen, all the memes. Oh. Okay. I'll take a broken ankle over a broken everything, personally. Uh-oh. Yeah. Oh. Oh. Fortunate, or is he like working with them? Is he undercover?
Kamala, I've been waiting a very long time to meet you.
Oh.
I'd like you to meet my mom.
Oh. Huh. Well, that took a turn. Okay, another really great episode. Enjoyed that very much. Few interesting developments, obviously at the end there being like the main one. So that means Kamala and Cameron are related, right? So I think Bruno's going to be very happy with that revelation. But yeah, I mean, the fact that they kept bringing her up in this one, you know, it kind of made sense that she was good. You know, she was playing into the story somehow. So I liked that ending with her showing up. I'm pretty sure that was who that's supposed to be, right? And yeah, they seemed to maybe indicate. Bruno was kind of saying like the powers was coming from inside of Kamala, but the bangle thing that activated it and brought them out. So they're actually just inside of Kamala. So I'm guessing it's like a genetic kind of thing. And, you know, her... Is it great-grandmother? Is it? Also is kind of... I guess it's like passing down from her genetically, perhaps. But that could lead into like Kamala actually is an Inhuman, rather than... You know, it's just the bangle giving her the powers. It might be something different. The MCU are probably going to do something a bit different with that. And it's not just straight up, she's an Inhuman like she's in the comics. But, you know, I do like that there does seem to be something like genetically in Kamala that is bringing out these powers. So I'm liking that whole kind of family mystery of what's going on with that and like what happened at the partition. You know, she followed something like a trail of stars to her father or something, so it seems like she had similar powers and it's kind of passing on in that way. So I'm looking forward to learning a bit more about that. I imagine we're going to get some of those answers regarding to exactly like what Kamala's powers are, how she got them, all the origins of that. It feels like they've set that up nicely to explain in the next episode, so I'm very excited for that. And yeah, that was all really cool, kind of talking about you know, her family and the past that's been hidden, the past that hasn't, you know, what parts of their culture and their traditions they embrace, what parts they kind of, you know, what people they kind of cut out. And we don't talk about that. You'd think they don't talk about Bruno, but alas, it's someone else entirely. But yeah, so I love that, and I love them exploring the cultures and stuff. And talking about the partition of India, and that coming into play, which, you know, as a British person, growing up in the schools that I did, had no idea that was a thing until an episode Doctor Who did it a couple of years ago. They did an episode all about the partition of India, which was excellent. Otherwise, I would not have known about it. Even watching this, I probably wouldn't have ever found out. So I really am glad that there's another kind of big medium in the world now kind of exploring that and tackling that and, you know, showing Eid off and like seeing, you know, properly what this is all about and, you know, how people kind of celebrate Eid and what Kamala and her family and like what their traditions and their cultures like. I really liked just taking the time to get an insight into that, and seeing, you know, her and her friend who's kind of running for some kind of like powerful role in how, you know, mosques and stuff are run. I think that was, I really liked that little sub thing going on, you know, that provided some of the humour in the episode as well. I think particularly when she was trying to convince Kamala's dad to get her vote, that was very funny, very well done. So I liked all of that, and she was kind of talking about to Kamala, you know, when she feels most like herself and like when she puts something on, she's like, this is who I'm meant to be, and I think that kind of related to Kamala and the bangle and everything. So I thought that was really well done. I liked everything with that. And then, yeah, the whole deal with Cameron, I thought it was just going to be straight up like they're just setting up a love triangle for Kamala, Cameron and Bruno. But it seems like there's probably a relation there with Kamala and Cameron. I think if the woman was like her great grandmother or great great grandmother, whoever that was supposed to be, I'm pretty sure that's who it was. There's obviously some relation there, so maybe not. But I wasn't expecting that kind of big twist and turn to the tale in regards to that. You know, I thought he was just going to be there to be, you know, a dramatic conflict for a love interest. So the fact that there's more to him than that, I think is really cool and really interesting. So I'm like, you know, I'm excited to learn a bit more about that, and, you know, why now is this happening? I'm assuming it's because Kamala's kind of put the bangle on and activated her powers, and somehow she's been able to be tracked down through that, just like shady detective people are tracking her down as well. So big fan of that, and I'm looking forward to seeing that get explored a bit more. But yeah, just spending a bit more time with Kamala's family and, you know, some of her friends as well. Kamala and Bruno got a lot of focus in the last episode. You know, we spent a lot of time with Bruno, and we did in this one as well. But we've met some other, you know, Kamala's significant people in her life more so, and gave them a bit more screen time, which I enjoyed. And, you know, her brother got a bit more to do. We met her brother's fiance as well. So I liked spending some time seeing what the dynamics are like in that family, and, you know, what they share, what they don't. I really liked how they presented in this one. And again, the whole presentation of like the text messages like coming up on the walls and like neon signs and stuff, and all the love hearts surrounding Kamala, and you know, outlining Cameron as he's like walking out the board and stuff. I do like how they're kind of presenting that. You know, just something very stylistically different for an MCU property. So I loved how they've been doing that, and are continuing to do that. So that was really cool as well. You know, it really does feel like we are in the life of, you know, this very young girl, really, this young teen. You know, that scene where she's like just miming along to the song and stuff. I mean, I feel like, if anything, that would not be a song that she's too familiar with at her age. Personally, maybe I'm out of touch. Maybe I'm just too old and mopey. So if anything, I think it would be a completely different song altogether that she would mime to. But maybe it was a cheaper song to get. I don't know. But you know, it still feels very real and authentic that they would run around the house like miming a song, dancing in your room, and all of that jazz. So I like that they're just really leaning into the fun and freshness of that, of being a teenager. So that was all cool. But there's also some real personal stakes going on as well. You know, Zoe, and you know, she kind of got herself somewhat famous from the whole incident where she got saved, making kind of a culture of that almost, and getting a following from that. And in turn, that allows her to be interviewed by the police people, and they can kind of start narrowing down who Nightlight is. I do like, you know, it's kind of like Night Monkey, Nightlight, just kind of not quite the names that they're destined to have, but I do like that sometimes the MCU plays with giving them different names before they settle on something. So that was all cool, having some personal stakes with that, and then obviously the drones following her at the end, and her saving that little kid. I really like the feeling of like, it's not has to be this huge epic scaled thing, you know, this major threat. I like that it's just, you know, friendly neighborhood Miss Marvel is basically how it is, and I really like that vibe. You know, I feel like the MCU has done its big massive events and crossovers and stuff, and there will be more to come with that obviously in the future, I have no doubt. But we've done so much of that now. I'm more than happy to just kind of have it simmer down a bit and just have these really personal stories. And I think Miss Marvel is a very good example of them doing that thus far. So very, very excited to see where all that leads. And we have Bruno as well. He's gotten into this program. I think we saw him, it was on his laptop screen or something, him applying for it in the last episode, or he'd already applied for it. So, you know, he's kind of toying with the idea of moving away, I guess, or going there. You know, I think it's fairly obvious he doesn't want to leave Kamala behind, partly because of her new powers and stuff. He probably wants to help her out with those, but I also think he has a bit of a thing for her. You know, he seemed very, very jealous of Kamala and Cameron. So, you know, I guess that's going to be a bit of a dilemma for him. Should he stay or should he go? So, yeah, that was all really good. And I just enjoyed everything they kind of had going on in this one. You know, it's still remaining quite fun, very light-hearted, but it can have the grounded, serious moments. And, you know, ties in some really interesting and real life issues, and, you know, addressing like the partition of India and stuff, and the treatment of women within their culture as well. All of that, I thought it was really cool to kind of weave that into the stories as well. Really kind of tie it into not only the real world stuff, but just something very personal, which I'm personally finding quite fresh for the MCU after all the crossovers and stuff we've been getting. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed this one yet again. Can't wait to see where it's all going to go in the next one in particular, because I'm hoping we're going to properly delve into what happened to, you know, this missing relative and why she's back now, and what's the whole deal with that's going to be, explaining all of those answers, maybe hopefully allowing Kamala to learn even more about her powers, and seeing what she can properly do. So yeah, you can feel the stakes slowly getting higher, but it still feels nice and contained in like this one kind of area, which I am enjoying. And yeah, I'm continuing to level the characters. I'm glad we spent a bit more time with some of them in this one as well that didn't get as much to do in the first episode. And yeah, I'm really excited to see where it all goes. But I'm loving this so far. I think we've had some, you know, first two really, really strong episodes, and I can't wait to see what they do with the rest of them. So that is going to be everything for now, and until my next reaction, thanks for watching.